What is going on, everybody? I am back. Got a little bit of a double-edged sword video today. This one might be kind of long, so buckle in, get yourself some water, some soda, some popcorn, sandwich, whatever you need. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. I'm just going to be talking to you a little football. Nothing better than talking a little football. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. I guess don't like yet, watch the video, and if you like it. But please subscribe. I'm up to 166 subs as I'm making this. Really appreciate everybody that has subbed up. Hope you like my videos. Hope you like stuff I talk about. Hope you find me engaging, entertaining, and knowledgeable, and maybe in terms of this betting, helping you win a couple bucks. That leads us into our first segment, which is going to be reviewing my picks from last week, which if you followed every single one, you probably didn't make much money because I did not do very well. I rebounded after a really rough start in the early games. I did better in the afternoon and the primetime games. It was a mess for me in the morning. Just going to go through each game, do a quick review of what my pick was. Like I said, I don't hide from anything. It is what it is. We're not perfect, or, nobody is here. So it's just a matter of getting, letting you guys know what I think and, letting you know my opinions on it. I'm going to be wrong on a lot of things, as are most people, as are front offices and teams on things. So here we go. Just going to go through, I'll tell you what my pick was and what happened and give a little quick synopsis of it. Not going to spend too much time on it. And then the second part of the video, we're going to do my week 14 picks. Hopefully you guys watched my last video. If you haven't, you can go back and see my picks. So if you have receipts when I get your team wrong, you can let me know about it. Again, just let everybody know I am a Seahawks fan, but I try and be fair. I'll tell you if I think, I'm not going to, if you saw my video last week, if you're a Niners fan thinking, oh man, the Seahawks fan ain't going to pick my team. I took the Niners last week. My wallet does not care about fandom. It wants to make money. So, my Seahawks fandom comes first for everything, but second of all, the goal is to make me money and make you guys maybe some money. So let's review the games from last week. Then I'll give my picks, and I'll pick every game against the spread for week 14. So first, week 13, I forgot. I didn't get a chance to do Thursday's game, so the Buffalo New England game is not going to be in here. Pittsburgh, Atlanta. Pittsburgh won 19-16. I said it was a money line pick, and I said to pick Atlanta. Not kicking myself too much on this one. It was a toss-up game. I took the wrong toss-up. I will say, kind of watching it on Red Zone, it felt like Pittsburgh was in control the whole game. And the Atlanta actually maybe made it a little closer than it should have been. So definitely a wrong pick by mine, but it was a coin flip game in my mind. I took a coin flip with the home team, didn't win it. Green Bay, Chicago. Green Bay won 28-19. I took Chicago plus 4.5. That one stunk a little bit. I didn't bet this game, and I did say to stay away from it, but that kind of would have been a bit of a bad beat. Chicago was actually winning this game most of the way. They're up 19-10, I think, going into the fourth quarter, so I felt pretty good about that one in terms of my picks. But Aaron Rodgers against the Bears, I should have known not to go against it, but got that one wrong. Again, not really regretting it. Green Bay has been playing good ball. They were on the road. Thought 4.5 was a lot against a feisty Bears team. This one I was way off on, so we're going to go 0-3 here. I took Jacksonville money line at Detroit. Just a straight up miss. The Lions are really coming into their own. The Lions are kind of where I thought Jacksonville was going into the game. Like, Jacksonville was a team that went in with a positive point differential in the season. Trevor Lawrence finally looked like he was coming into his own a little bit. Not saying he's not now. But this Lions team, they're starting to get the defense and the offense gelling together, and a tremendous win for them. Just a miss by me. The other two so far I'll kind of defend. This was just way off. I took Jacksonville, didn't hit. Finally, my first hit of last Sunday, I took Minnesota -3. They did hold off the Jets 27-22. Minnesota's a team that's been winning on the hair of their chinny chin chin all season. That's not to take away from what they've done, but it's the truth. I think they're underdogs at Detroit this week. I think their point differential is not very high. Kind of the way I saw the game going, Minnesota jumps out to an early lead. They hold off a feisty Jets team and get the win. If you watch my video, it's kind of how I saw the game going, so I was pretty spot on with that one. Minnesota -3. The Commanders and the Giants, a tie, and I said to take the Commanders -2. I did say that game scared me a little bit. It seemed too easy. It seemed like, Washington should win. They're better. So I did say that one scared me a little bit, and it looks like the fears were realized, but my pick was wrong. Said Washington -2. Not really kicking myself on that one. Ended up in a tie. I mean, -2 is almost a pick'em. Anything under 3, you're kind of getting close to that pick'em territory. So, it just Washington had some chances, couldn't do it. Is what it is, but it is a loss. So right now I'm at 1-4. Another huge miss by me coming up. I swear my picks did get a little bit better if this is your first time following. I took Tennessee. I think it was +4.5. I think I said Bears -4.5. It was Bears +4.5, by the way, for the record. I don't know if I said -4, but it was Bears +4.5. I took Tennessee +4.5 at Philly. I actually said I thought this was a game that Tennessee might even win in an upset. And my God, was I wrong on that. The Eagles just demolished them. And I'm not underrating the Eagles. I know they're a great team. I just have a ton of respect for the Titans. They've played really hard. Their defense has been good. Mike Vrabel's always got that team playing hard. But they got steamrolled by A.J. Brown and the Eagles. So just a bad pick by me. Just wrong. Everything about that one was wrong. So far I am, 0-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5. I do turn it around a little bit, and this is one of them. I did take Denver +9.5 at Baltimore. Now, I was not anticipating Lamar Jackson going out, and maybe if he stays healthy and stays in that game, Baltimore does win it by more. But, Baltimore hasn't really been blowing out a lot of teams this year. They've kind of been keeping games close. I didn't think it would be quite like that, where Denver probably should have won in some areas there. But I did take Denver +9.5, and they covered. That doesn't change just because of an injury. I still get the pick correct. But yeah, I didn't anticipate Lamar Jackson going out. So who knows what would have happened had he stayed healthy. But you know what? It was a rough week for me. I'm taking this one. I said Denver +9.5. They hit. Cleveland and Houston. I took Houston. I think it was +8 or 8.5. That did not hit. So we're now 2-6. Cleveland got Houston got the safety. I think Cleveland got two defensive touchdowns and a punt return or something. Yeah, I think they got 2 defensive touchdowns on a punt return. So obviously you don't anticipate that in a football game. A couple of those things go the way. I think Houston probably does keep that in the 8 points, but that's why Houston's Houston and they're 1-10-1. So Deshaun Watson did not look very sharp in his first game back, but he also hadn't played a game in 2 years. So, understandable. Yep, that's a miss. So we're 2-6. Getting into late games. I promise it gets better, but here's another miss in the late games. I think this is my last miss of the week. Seattle beat the Rams 27-23. I did take Seattle -7. That didn't hit. I did say there, too, I was a little bit... The game made me a little nervous. I wasn't super confident, but I did say it was one I would probably bet if I was looking for games to pick. And just off on it, I mean, is what it is. Rams put up a battle against the Seahawks. And, yeah, I missed that one. Seattle had some turnovers in the Rams side of the field. It may have changed that a little bit, but is what it is. That's a miss. We're at 2-7 right now. I do think I win the rest of the games, though. The Niners beat the Dolphins 33-17. Again, didn't anticipate Brock Purdy coming in for Jimmy Garoppolo, but it didn't matter. The Niners, that defense is so good. And they took care of business against a really potent Dolphins offense with Tua, Tyreek Hill, Waddle. And the Niners took care of business, so I did get that one. I took the Niners -4.5. I took the Bengals +2 against Kansas City. Great game. That was just kind of a gut feel in Cincinnati, late game, late start, that the Bengals would, pull that one out against the Chiefs. I don't buy into the fact that, the Bengals own the Chiefs. All 3 games that they've played over the last 2 years have been really close. I just think the Bengals have kind of pulled them out. I don't think there's necessarily, an ownage going on here, or maybe even necessarily, a great matchup. Just the Bengals are a good team, and they've pulled it out. One game that probably my most proud of the day, maybe, the Raiders were -2.5 against the Chargers. I took the Raiders -2.5, and they won their 3rd in a row. I don't know, maybe that's a game a lot of people saw coming. I think I would have thought that a lot of people had money on the Chargers there. But the Raiders are starting to come into their own. They're starting to win these close games that they weren't winning in the year. That's now their 3rd in a row, beating Denver, Seattle, and the Chargers. I'm starting to see why the Raiders, they're better than their record. Do I think it's too little too late? Probably, although their schedule's not super difficult. I think they could still have a chance. I don't know, actually, they play the Chiefs and the Niners still, so maybe not. But, yeah, nice win for the Raiders. They're starting to, at least those rumors of McDaniels being one and done are pretty much done now. Or, he's not going to be one and done. Dallas beats Indianapolis 54-19. I took Dallas -10. They cover. In fairness to the Colts, they did battle for the first 3 quarters. It was 21-19 going into the fourth quarter. Then just turnovers and everything turned into an onslaught. So by Dallas, but they do cover. And then I took New Orleans +3.5 Monday night. New Orleans should have won that game. Mark Ingram doesn't go out of bounds. They don't go for the 4th down. The defense just, Tom Brady, what can you say? It's why you never count out TB12. But I did take New Orleans +3.5 and won that. So I went 7-7 against the spread. 50%. We'll keep track of it throughout the year. Hopefully I do a little bit better this week. Nice though that I went out kind of on a winning note with the late games and then the primetime games. So at least finished up pretty good, but a rough start. It's why it's gambling. If it was easy, everybody would make money on it. So let's move on to week 14. I'll give you my picks. And let's see. Do I have the spreads here? Oh, no. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Come on. Where on earth am I here? Apparently I'm buying tickets now for the Raiders-Rams game. That's where I'm at. I'm about as tech-savvy as nobody. So let me just exit out of a few things here. Super, super professional here. Only the best. Let's go to ESPN. Okay, here we go. Here are the week 14 picks now that we found it. And apparently I will be going to now Raiders-Rams tomorrow because apparently I just bought, no, I didn't, but almost bought tickets accidentally. That's how tech-savvy I am. The Raiders are -6.5 at the Rams. I do wonder if that last Sunday was kind of the Rams' season. They played really hard against Seattle. They kind of pulled out all the stops, and they still couldn't pull it out. I can't imagine Aaron Donald's playing. Stafford's out for the year. I'm still going to take the Raiders here, -6.5. I don't love it. The Raiders aren't exactly dominating, or excuse me, they're not exactly a top tier team. They're certainly playing a lot better and showing that they're, I think, a decent team. But I think the Rams on a short week, it's going to be tough for them. And I think they kind of put all their chips into maybe beating Seattle to kind of end the Hawks season, potentially. I think it's going to be a tough one here. I'll take the Raiders -6.5. Don't love it. Raiders just playing pretty good ball. I'll take Devontae Adams, Derek Carr. Although Jalen Ramsey against Devontae Adams could slow down that Raiders offense a little bit. And then the Raiders defense has not been very good. I do think Max Crosby has a big game potentially against that Rams O-line, but the Raiders defense overall has been very good. Maybe McVay dials something up there. Now I'm kind of talking myself in the Rams, but I'm still going to stick with the Raiders -6.5. Again, I don't love it. I don't love Thursday games in general. I kind of stay away from them. I'll give you my pick, but weird games. But I will take the Raiders -6.5 here if I have to. Sunday, we've got Jets at the Bills. Bills -9.5. The Jets, last week when I described the Titans, I talked about Robert Saleh, Mike Vrabel, the culture he's got there. I kind of view the same way with Robert Saleh and the coach and the culture he's created there. That defense is really good. They slowed down the Bills offense 4 weeks ago, and they won by 7 points. I have a hard time seeing this game being a 16-point swing. And Mike White's been playing pretty good. Maybe not, MVP or anything, but he's been solid. He's been an upgrade from Zach Wilson. I think that Jets defense can give Buffalo some fits. Josh Allen hasn't exactly been, he's been good, but I think he's had some moments the last few weeks where he hasn't quite been Josh Allen. He's been, maybe a little step down. I'm going to take the Jets +9.5 here. This is a big divisional game. The division's not wrapped up. It is a 10-point spread. I don't know. It seems a little unfair to the Jets. The Jets are a tough team here. I like the Jets +9.5. I think Buffalo wins. I do. I think tough game. I see Buffalo pulling it out, but I don't see the Jets getting blown out in this one, actually. I think that spread's a little unfair. I'm going to take the Jets +9.5. Browns at the Bengals. Bengals -6. Maybe a little letdown here for the Bengals coming off the Chiefs win. Deshaun Watson now with another week, of preparation here to get ready and just clean some things up. Oh man. Ugh. I'm going to take the Browns +6 here. I actually think this might be a surprisingly close game. I think the Bengals probably win But I think this could be kind of one of those donut games for the Bengals. And who do they play next week? God, if I try to look ahead, I'm going to probably delete something on here and buy more tickets. Yeah, they play the Bucks on the road next week. I don't know if that's necessarily like makes this a trap game, but I think the Bengals win, but I'm going to take the Browns here +6. Dallas is minus 16.5 against Houston. I don't love that Bengals-Browns one either. Probably not one I'd bet. These are so tough because there's just the backdoor cover. There's Dallas not showing a lot here and taking their foot off the gas. This thing's got like 23-10, with it being 23-3 in the fourth quarter and Houston scoring written all over it. I'll take Houston +16.5. I don't like it. I don't love it. Oh, by the way, my picks, I'm not giving any teasers. Like, you can do all sorts of things betting where you can buy points. This would probably be a good game where you buy some points. You take Dallas -9 and pair it with something else. I'm not getting into all that. Maybe I'll on Saturday I'll do some shorts where I give some teaser picks that I'm doing. This is just my straight up against the spread. I'm not getting super in depth here with teasers and parlays and everything, but you can buy points on some of these games. You don't have to bet them just like this. But remember, you do that, your odds go significantly down of making a lot of money. I'll take Houston +16.5. I have zero confidence in that. Dallas is going to take their foot off the gas on this one here. They just won 54-19. Again, maybe a little bit of a letdown here. You know what I mean? At home, hard game to get up for against a really poor Texans team. Houston ain't going to win. They want to secure that Bryce Young pick. But I could see it being like 24-9 or something, like, and Houston scores late backdoor cover. Interesting one. Vikings at the Lions. Lions -2.5. Oh boy, this seems like the game Minnesota might drop. Big statement game for both teams. You know, tough road game for the Vikings. Can they handle it? The Lions, you know, trying to show they're for real and stick around in this playoff race a little bit. Jared Goff's been fantastic. The defense is really, with Aaron Glenn's defense, is really starting to come into its own in Detroit there. You know, Minnesota loves to keep it close. The Vikings seem to just, I'm going to take the Vikings plus the 2.5. I think the Vikings are still a little bit better of a team overall. I think Justin Jefferson, you know, Detroit's defense can be put to the test with Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson coming back and Cook and whatnot. So, you know, I don't know. I'm going to go with Minnesota plus 2.5. I think they're a slightly better team here. Detroit would show a lot to me if they can pull this off. I feel like I'm knocking Detroit. I picked against them 2 weeks in a row. I'm not. I really love what Detroit's doing. I just think Minnesota is a little bit better team here. I'll take them plus 2.5. Tennessee's -4 at home against Jacksonville. Tennessee's kind of fallen off here if they're -4. Jags have kept some games close. I'm going to go Tennessee -4. I don't love it, but, you know, I think at home it's enough to, you know, I think they can win this game 27-20, something like that. I do think they pull it out. They find a way. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Jacksonville hangs in there a little bit. But I'll take the Titans at home in this one -4. I think they can cover that. Actually, I kind of like that one. It's not a sexy pick or anything, but I think Tennessee can win that game by a touchdown or so. I could easily see like a 20, like I said, 28-24 type game. And that's or 28-23 is what I meant to say. And there you go. You cover. Phillies -7 at the Giants. Man, these are, Vegas knows what they're doing. They don't make it easy. Let's come back to that one. You know what? No, it's a cop-out. I like the Giants +7 here. I think a division game at home, I think they maybe keep this thing a little close. Like, the Giants, are they overperforming? Yeah, I don't think they're quite as good as their record. And believe me, as a Seahawks fan with the wild card race, I want the Giants to lose this game. But I think they maybe keep this close at home. I think Brian Daboll's guys are playing pretty hard. Their defense is stingy. I think they can give the Eagles some fits. You know, the Eagles have had some tough road games. They struggled a bit in Indy, and the Giants are a better team than that Colts team. So I don't know if they necessarily win this game, but I think the Giants maybe, I think this is going to be a good game. I think the Giants keep it close. I'm going to take them +7. And I think, you know, worst case, maybe a push you get there. Ravens at the Steelers. Steelers -2.5 without Lamar Jackson. I like the Ravens plus 2.5 here. I like Tyler Huntley. I actually think he's one of the better backups in the league. I think he can be pretty dynamic, and now that he's got a week to prepare, I think gives him a shot here to be successful. Against TJ Watt and company, it's not easy. I don't love this one. I'll go through and tell you my 2 or 3 favorite ones at the end, but I'll take Baltimore minus the 2.5 here. Excuse me, plus the 2.5. I think it's a close game, and I think I know without Lamar, but I still think I'm getting the better team here with pretty good value. Chiefs at the Broncos. Chiefs are minus 9.5. Cortland Sutton might be out now for Denver. I don't love big spreads, especially for road teams. It's tough, but again, I keep saying I don't love it for every game. I'll take the Chiefs minus the 9.5 here. And I think just hope that Mahomes kind of wins this thing like 34-17 or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at there. Bucks at the Niners. Niners minus 3.5. This is a tough one. Brock Purdy, you don't really know. I think Brock Purdy's in a great system to succeed. I like Brock Purdy coming out of college. He's a good decision maker. Excuse me. He doesn't have the strength to go super deep. He doesn't have that, but he's got good poise in the pocket. He's got nice touch on the short throws. He's got a great coach in Kyle Shanahan here to help him along. You've got Elijah Mitchell's out, but you got McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle. So you've got good weapons to kind of just get the ball in their hand, and you've got the best defense in the league. The Bucks, I want to believe in the Bucks. They're that team that I swear is like going to get in and they're going to go on a run. I'll never count out Brady. I don't love it at 3.5, but I'm going to take the Niners here minus the 3.5. Maybe Brock Purdy falls flat in his face and it's a disaster and they really do miss Jimmy G. And I think they will miss Jimmy G. I think the Niners are worse than they were last week. But the Bucks just haven't shown it to me yet. Like they've had a couple nice wins. They actually are playing better. I think they've won 3 out of 4. But they needed a last-second win over the Rams. They played pretty well against Seattle in Germany. Although they almost let that one slip away a little bit. They lose at the Browns. They didn't even look that good against a pretty Saints team. I can't really take the Bucks here. I'm going to stick with the Niners. Until Brock Purdy fails, I'm going to stick rolling with the Niners, to be honest. Just my opinion. Now, if Purdy struggles here, then maybe I start changing that opinion. But the Niners have too good of a coaching staff, too good of a defense to just let me go with Tampa here. Panthers at the Seahawks. Seahawks are minus 3.5. Sorry, I'm using my wife's tablet here to do this, and she's getting messages on it. So I'm like, I thought I was getting text. I realized it's not my machine here. Again, this is a tough one. Like, I do think Carolina does some things that could give Seattle fits. Their pass defense is pretty good, and their run defense has struggled for the Panthers. And Seattle could be without Kenneth Walker, DJ Dallas. They did sign Wayne Gallman to the practice squad, the Wayne train. But I don't know if that's going to be enough with Travis Homer to really run on the Panthers. So it's going to be a lot on Geno's shoulders. The Panthers' run game has been decent, and Seattle can't stop the run. So there's a lot of red flags here. But when it's all said and done, like the Panthers just are not a very good football team. And, Seattle's decent. So I'm going to take Seattle minus the 3.5. I actually kind of like that one. Don't listen to me on Seahawks games because there's a bias that's going to creep in. I will tell you, I always try to be fair. But you're getting a pretty good Seattle team, and they just need to win by a score, more than a field goal. I think that's very possible here. Like I said, the Panthers do some things that can give Seattle fits. But the Panthers are still not a very good football team. They're 4-8. They haven't won on the road yet. Maybe they're due. They've been playing better under Steve Wilkes. They've certainly found something, and maybe Sam Darnold gives them a little bit of something too. But I am going to take Seattle here minus the 3.5. Dolphins, Chargers, Sunday night. Dolphins minus 3. I'm going to go with the Chargers plus 3 because I think their season is truly on the line here. They cannot lose this football game at home. And I think Justin Herbert, Brandon Staley's job might be on the line here. They've got to win this football game. Like, I'm not saying Miami doesn't need it either, but I think for the Chargers, this is their season. They've got to show up and get a W here. So I'll take the Chargers at home plus 3 against the Dolphins. Monday night, New England's -1.5 at Arizona. Call me crazy, I'm going to take the Cardinals +1.5. I just have a feeling prime time at home that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals win it. You know, the Patriots are just so unexplosive. Like, I think Belichick will give Kingsbury's offense some fits, but I don't know. Something tells me there the Cardinals just win that game. I don't know, just a weird feeling. So I'll take the Cardinals plus the 1.5 there. Those are my picks. Let me know how wrong I'm going to be, how right. Games I like Tennessee -4. I should have closed the pad up there. I think that's one I would bet on. Of course, now I like the Chargers +3. I actually like that one. I think at home they take care of business there. Call me by. I do like Seattle -3.5. I think that's a little low. I think Seattle's getting a little bit. The running back situation's a little scary. See what happens there. And I think it was like -6 before that came out. So that could make it a little dicey. I like the other ones more, but that is one I would consider. I like the Jets plus the 9.5 at Buffalo. I think that's going to be a close game. I think the Jets are getting a little disrespected there. I do think Buffalo wins, but I do like that. The rest of them are all kind of, you know, a little bit of toss-ups there. I'm not sure on. I mean, Kansas City -9.5 isn't bad. You know, you're getting Mahomes and company against a banged-up, bad Broncos team. Can't go wrong there. But yeah, those are my picks. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. Really helps me out a lot. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Have a great night. Enjoy your football Sunday coming up. And as always, take care. Peace.